The beast from the sea. John stood upon the shore of the sea, his heart trembling under the weight of the vision granted to him. Out of the rolling waters, dark and dreadful, a monstrous form began to rise, crowned with blasphemy and clothed in power. The sea itself groaned as though it were the womb of chaos, giving birth to a beast unlike any seen before. It bore 7 heads and 10 horns, each horn crowned with a diadem, each head inscribed with names of defiance against the Most High. The body of the beast was like that of a leopard, swift and cunning in its movements. Its feet were like those of a bear, heavy and crushing, while its mouth roared like that of a lion, filled with pride and destruction. The dragon, that ancient serpent who is the devil, stood upon the shore and gave his authority to the beast. From him flowed the power, the throne, and the great authority by which the beast would rule the nations. The people of the earth gazed upon the beast with wonder, for one of its heads seemed wounded to death. Yet the wound was healed, and its recovery filled men with awe, causing them to marvel and follow after it. The nations cried out in admiration, "Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war against him?" Their voices rose in unison, a song of idolatry echoing across the lands and seas. The beast opened its mouth in arrogance, pouring out blasphemies against God. It spoke against his name, against his dwelling place, and against those who dwell in heaven, with no restraint upon its tongue. For 42 months the beast was granted authority to act, and during that time it raged against the saints. It overcame many, dragging them into suffering, and the faithful bore witness with their lives. Every tribe, every tongue, every people, and every nation bowed before the beast in fearful reverence. All whose names were not written in the Lamb's book of life worshipped the beast, blind to its deception. The Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world, stood as the true Redeemer. Yet men chose the counterfeit, preferring the fleeting power of darkness to the eternal light of Christ. A call rang out to those with ears to hear. If anyone is to go into captivity he shall go. If anyone kills with the sword he must be killed. Here was the call for endurance and faith among the saints, that they should hold fast even when the beast raged against them. Their patience was tested, their courage refined, and their loyalty to Christ revealed in the fire of trial. The beast strutted upon the world stage, basking in the worship of men. Its dominion seemed unshakable, its power unchallenged, and its arrogance boundless. Yet heaven observed in silence, for the Most High had set the boundaries of its reign. Beyond those boundaries it could not step, and within them it only fulfilled the hidden counsel of God. The dragon rejoiced, deceiving the world through the beast's grandeur. Men believed strength lay in crowns and thrones, but true strength lay hidden in the pierced hands of the Lamb. The faithful whispered prayers in secret places, strengthening one another with the promises of Christ. They knew their victory did not lie in escaping the sword, but in overcoming by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. The beast's signs and wonders dazzled the nations, yet behind them lurked emptiness and ruin. It called forth loyalty, but gave nothing in return except chains and death. Kings aligned themselves with the beast, seeking power through its favor. Merchants enriched themselves by its commerce, and the common people adored it as a savior. But in heaven's book it was already written, its dominion was short, its triumph but a shadow, and its end certain. The Lamb who was slain would return, and the beast would be cast into the lake of fire. John trembled, as he watched the vision unfold, his spirit heavy with sorrow. Yet even in the terror of the beast, he saw the unshakable sovereignty of God. The beast roared like a conqueror, but in truth it was a servant of judgment, a rod in the hand of the Almighty. For even evil serves a purpose in the mystery of God's will. The saints lifted their eyes toward eternity, knowing their reward was beyond the reach of the beast. They endured mockery, imprisonment, and death, but their hope burned brighter than the flames of persecution. Nations drank deeply from the cup of deception, their leaders bowing before the beast's image. They thought themselves wise, but in the courts of heaven they were counted as fools. Every proclamation of the beast was a lie dressed in splendor. Every decree carried within it the poison of rebellion against God. Yet through the chaos, the gospel of the kingdom continued to shine. The Lamb's name was whispered in homes, sung in prisons, and cherished in hearts that refused to bow. The beast raged against this testimony, but could not quench it. For every martyr that fell, 10 more rose in courage, declaring the glory of Christ. The earth groaned under the weight of the beast's tyranny, but creation itself awaited redemption. The seas, the skies, and the soil longed for the appearing of the true King. John's eyes filled with tears as he beheld the suffering of the saints. Yet his tears turned to hope, for he knew the vision pointed not to despair, but to the triumph of the Lamb. The beast from the sea ruled for a season, but the sea itself was under the command of the Lord, who said, "Thus far shall you come, and no farther." Its dominion was chained to the decree of heaven. Blinded by pride, the beast exalted itself to the heavens, yet its fall was already decreed. For none who defy the Most High can stand, though their reign seem mighty for a moment. The dragon's laughter echoed over the nations, but heaven was not shaken. For the Lamb upon the throne had already overcome, and his victory was the foundation of time itself. The saints stood firm, not by strength of arm, but by strength of faith. Their endurance became a testimony louder than the beast's roar, declaring the eternal power of Christ. John fell upon his knees, overwhelmed by the majesty of the vision, and the Spirit whispered, "Write these things, for they are faithful and true." Thus the beast from the sea rose and reigned, dazzling the nations and mocking the Most High. Yet its days were numbered, its end sealed, and its doom certain by the word of the Lord.